Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Love being here with you today on this Friday review. Excited to go over today's show. Lots of updates, lots of product reviews, and a brand new portion of the Friday review that we'll be adding every single week in 2022. So I'll talk about that in just a moment, but it's kind of a flashback to what we did just a couple years back for all of the different vitamins, a new vitamin every single week or mineral. And that was a lot of fun. So I look forward to doing that this year, just a different topic. I'll share that with you in just a moment. So today's show, I always bring you two research studies that I think are pretty pertinent for you. This one is on disinfectants found in tea, which is pretty disgusting. I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. And then also, believe it or not, antibodies that are found in a different, I don't know if mammal is the right classification of this. I don't believe they're not mammals, but fish, a type of fish that is going to actually help with future COVID-based treatments. So that's pretty exciting because, again, if we can kind of look at this from a holistic perspective, we can say, all right, there's conventional medicine-based routes to take, there's natural health-based routes, and then there's also this thing where we can kind of meet in the middle and figure out how to use both natural and conventional medicine-based modalities. So looking forward to that. Product review of the week will be a little something for the January, February, March timeline, even December, where there was more respiratory-based issues and a couple nice products that I want to share with you. All right, but before we get started, let's just go over updates. Updates going to be really quick because honestly, they're more like stay tuned. So much craziness is going to be happening starting next Monday that I just want to make sure that you are either a part of my text email list, which is kind of Q&A with me, that's stephencabral.com/text, or you're a part of the Equilife-based newsletter. And you can just go to equi.life and you can sign up for the newsletter there because you don't want to miss Monday's announcement. And it's going to be game-changing for this industry. And I don't say things like that often or take these things lightly when I do say them because I want you to know that they are the truth. And on Monday, we're doing something game-changing that will change the entire functional medicine, integrative health, wellness-based industry forever. And I just want you to be a part of that. It's free to just listen and hear what it is. We'll also make the announcement inside of cabralsupportgroup.com. That's our free Facebook group, over 14,000 members now. And I call them organic members because we don't do any advertising. We don't tell people they need to join for any reason. It's just like-minded individuals, 14,000 people from all over the world, literally all over the world. People sharing ideas, asking questions, getting answers, cheering each other on, and so much more. And if you're going to be a part, again, and we would love you to, of the community detox, which is happening next week, the functional medicine detox, I want you to head on over there too, because we post every single day for motivation and also answer your questions. And it's absolutely fantastic. So join if you haven't already. It's free, cabralsupportgroup.com for all the announcements, and definitely get on that email newsletter list. So that's it. Besides it being the 7th today, so we're already into the new year, but I know it was the 3rd when we kind of got through the New Year's weekend, and some people even had Monday off. Here's the thing, though. At least, a lot of kids are back to school. We're back to the swing of things and after the holidays are over. And really, I'm telling you right now, whatever your goal is, because we might have different goals than each other, but we're still on track to achieve something new in our life this year. And I just want you to get after it, and I want you to start this week. You don't have to go all in this week, but your plan has to be outlined. It has to be implemented this week so that you know that you're taking your goal, whatever that one specific thing is that we talked about about on the last few Motivation and Mindset Mondays, that you're taking that very seriously, that you're throwing away your to-do list this year and you're using a calendar instead. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to StephenCabral.com/podcast and just tune into that show. The exact show is going to be episode 2131. So StephenCabral.com/2131. I'm telling you, if you listen to that show, and then you listen to episode 2145, you'll know how to achieve your big goal for this year and why it shouldn't be a million goals. All right. So check that out. Again, I'm going to keep it at that for today. We have 2 game-changing announcements happening in January of this year, this month. And it's going to happen next Monday. And it's going to happen the following week as well. So I just want you to stay tuned. These are 2 big announcements that are happening. The next one won't happen until late March. So stay tuned for these 2. I'm telling you right now, game changing. And I would not put my reputation on the line if it was not. And it will be for the entire industry. So definitely check it out. I hyped it up, but I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. All right. So I'm going to move on from my updates there. Again, I just want to share with you a happy new year. I've been kind of saying that all week, but it is. And I think it's going to be a great year. We've been through some really, really challenging times over those last couple of years. And I know this winter is not going to be any easier. There's no doubt about it. I have no doubt that it won't be. But I'm optimistic that as we turn the corner in April, May, closer to May probably, that I hope that we look and we look at things differently, and we have a different perspective, and we're in a better place, not just as a nation in the U.S., but actually as the world, right? As a much larger community. So that's my hope. That's my goal. I really believe we can get there. I'm very optimistic. I don't always know the timeline, like I said, but I'm optimistic that is what's going to happen. So I wish you all the best. I wish your family the best. And I know this is going to be our best year yet. No doubt about it. All right. This week, before we move into our recap and our product review and our new category for the Friday review, just want to make sure that you know over at Equalife, you can get there by going to StephenCabral.com/shop. And if you head over there right now, and get a free bottle of vitamin D valued at around $39, completely free. So this is about a 3-month supply for most people. So you're going to take about 4 drops for most adults, not droppers, just drops, 4 drops a day for most people that are not maintaining a tan. And this is going to keep your vitamin D levels where it should be all year round, or at least when you're not getting a tan. So you can check it out. It's about a 3-month supply, completely free, with all qualifying orders over at StephenCabral.com/shop. Head on over now. All right, podcast recap for the week. This was a fun week. It really was. So on our Motivation and Mindset Monday, the episode was what? 2160, let's see, 2159, eliminate these 5 toxic mindsets. So I kind of gave what I feel is the game plan. I've been now teaching this for quite some time, like 4 or 5 years, this specific plan, and I love it, and I really have never seen anything work better. I honestly haven't. So, and I teach it all to you in just those 2 podcasts I mentioned earlier. We'll link it all up today at StephenCabral.com/2163. So if you want to go there, we'll link everything up there. So what I want, though, is to make sure that you don't hold you back from achieving your goals. Because that's really the only thing in 2022 that's going to hold you back. And if you're listening to this in 2030, the only thing that's going to hold you back in 2030 is you. It really is. The game plans are out there. The formulas are out there. You can make it happen with the right plan. I give you those plans, but just make sure your mind does not get in the way. All right, so check out 2159 there. Now, the next one, 2160, was the reason for low blood sugar. So low blood sugar, cause and effect and fixes. And a lot of people don't even know that they have low blood sugar. So that was a good episode I think people enjoyed. The next one, 2161, was the 5 best herbs for weight loss. All science-based. Typical weight loss when using these herbs was about 5 to 6% weight reduction per month. That's, again, like, it doesn't include your nutrition. Okay. Doesn't include necessarily extra exercise. This is taking these herbs, 5 to 6% a month. That's pretty good. That's what I call icing on the cake. That's excellent. So definitely check out that show. Again, all science-based. I listed all the scientific literature and research studies so you can verify yourself if you'd like to. That's totally fine with me. All right. Yesterday's show was why COVID is actually being worsened with additional body weight. We now know why obesity and being at least 30 pounds overweight, so I'm not talking about 5-10 pounds overweight, actually increases the severity and increased risk for mortality. I share with you the reasons why, and certainly that we can fix a lot of this. We really can. And so I just want to make sure that people know that they have that option available, and also that we can demystify it a bit, and also not shame anyone, not put anyone down, not say that there's one like perfect body type or anything like that, but just understand that the top 4 causes of mortality, not including COVID. So if we're talking about cardiovascular risk, blood pressure, stroke, type 2 diabetes, complications, and cancer, all of those are worsened with the more weight that you gain. And so again, for me, it's always about wellness. It's about quality of life. It's about longevity. I want that for everyone. I want that for you, because especially when you get in the right mindset, then you want to live for as long as you can with a good, healthy life. So I want to make sure just we can accomplish this together. All right. That is that for the podcast recap. Today's show, again, 2163. Product review of the week is a product that I have been using for quite some time. It is a product that is used by so many cultures around the world. And I know I've talked about it before, but I think this is a good time of the year to chat about it. And the company's name, well, the company that I use, you can use other companies. I'm going to give you one other company as well. But these are ones that I use with my family. And it's called Mullein. So I'm kind of holding this up to the camera. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the 2. It's called Mullein Blend, and the other one is a Mullein garlic oil. And there's one more that I don't have right here, but I actually have it at home. And that one is that's a straight garlic oil for ear drops for kids when they have an earache. So let me talk about that part first. So in my family, what we do is if one of my daughters ever has an earache, we're doing oral based. And I've talked about my children's wellness protocol before, so I'm not going to get into that today. But basically, a teaspoon of vitamin C, a teaspoon of an immune blend that contains zinc and elderberry, and then a teaspoon of an immune booster, which contains thyme, oregano, and a few others. So we put that in a little medicine cup with a drop of vitamin D, and they drink that down twice a day. That's what my daughters do. So a lot of people ask me all the time, children's wellness protocol, honestly, super easy. I'll talk about one day what I did for my oldest daughter. She had, unfortunately, she got a ear, nose, and throat infection, and it swelled her tonsils, and they wouldn't go down. So I did a protocol, and I'm telling you, it's not always simple. It's not always easy. But after 6 weeks, her tonsils went down all the way and saved us from having to do a tonsillectomy, for her, because I want her to keep her tonsils because they're part of your body. They're lymph nodes. They're very important. I wish I still had my tonsils, and I wish I had my adenoids, but alas, I don't. You can't put them back in once you remove them. That's the funny thing about the human body. So the next thing I want to share with you, though, we use, again, earaches. We use 2 to 3 drops of garlic oil in the ear. We've always done that, or we use the Nutribiotic ear drops for an earache. So that's what we do. But Mullein, you can also do this in the ear with the garlic oil drops. And so if you choose to do that, you're certainly welcome to. This one has calendula and St. John's wort. So I can't say the word anti-inflammatory, so I'm not going to say that this is anti-inflammatory, but it certainly could help with healthy levels of inflammation. But again, it's not my first choice go-to, but this is a great one to use orally for any type of chest-based congestion. So I really like this one for respiratory-based issues, chest-based congestion. So if you want, though, a straight Mullein-based product that has been shown to help with respiratory-based congestion, this is a great one to use. This is certified organic extract blend, 680 milligrams, Mullein leaf and Mullein flower. So it's a blend. There's a little bit of alcohol in this, which is just the purifier, right? So it's not like a lot of alcohol. But what you can do if you're sensitive to that is you can always put this bottle, if you're going to use it like in the next week or two, in some warmed, hot water, and it'll let the alcohol evaporate out of it, and that will always work. You have to take the top off of it, of course. So this one's called a Mullein Blend. Again, a good respiratory-based herb. I definitely recommend not taking it just by itself. You should certainly be doing internal-based work with the immunity-based protocol. And the immunity-based protocol is the vitamin C, the zinc, and the vitamin D, okay? The other thing I would always add to that with respiratory-based issues is the sinus support. The sinus support is going to have the licorice root and the NAC to help with congestion as well. Again, I'm not giving you medical advice, okay? So it's not a medical treatment plan or medical advice, but this is exactly what I do myself personally, and I want to share this with you as well. So if you do feel like there's a lot more chest congestion than you typically have, this is very simple to use, and you can use 1 to 2 droppers 2 to 3 times a day, okay? So that is that. I want to get to now our new part of the Friday review that we'll be doing every single week, and that is going to be our herb of the week. I believe it was in 2019 that we did our vitamin or mineral, our nutrient of the week. And so if you're ever looking for a fairly comprehensive 5-minute to 7-minute breakdown of B1, vitamin B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, any of your B vitamins or vitamin C or minerals, I did all of that in 2019, and there's literally a show on every single one. So you can simply search it at stephencabral.com/podcasts, and you can get details on selenium or molybdenum or any mineral that you may not have heard before. We definitely took care of it on those shows. So now we're going to have 52 shows on 52 different herbs. So it's going to be a lot of fun for me because I'm going to get to share with you some herbs you may already know, but a lot of others you probably won't, from Ayurvedic medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, South American, Amazon-based herbs that I've used, especially like in parasite-based protocols. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But today's is kind of coming out of left field, as they say, because it's been a listener request, and it's for black seed. So a lot of people have been asking me about black seed benefits in the past, and if I use it a lot in my practice. Now, I'm always honest with you, and I like to say this. I don't use black seed a lot in my practice. However, there are a lot of benefits to black seed, and that is something that I would like to go over with you today. And I just want to give you the different names because you may have heard of black seed before, but you might have heard it before as black caraway or black cumin, which a lot of people have heard it as that, like cumin, black cumin oil, black cumin powder, black onion seed sometimes is called, or Kalonjai, and I don't even know if it's pronounced Kalonjai or Kalonjai. I've never seen it pronounced that way, but some people certainly do say it that way. So what I want to share with you, though, a lot of people use black seed specifically as an oil oftentimes. It can often be as a capsule as well, but it can help with, I have to say the word may. So it may help with healthy levels of blood pressure. It may help with healthy levels of cholesterol. It may help with autoimmune issues like rheumatoid arthritis. It may help with asthma and allergies. It may help with digestive upset. It also is being used by many people all over the world because it may help with psoriasis, because you can apply the black seed oil directly to the skin. I'll explain why in just a moment. It may also help with candida-based issues, fungal-based issues on the skin, and also with hair-based growth. So a lot of people are using it for the skin, and they're using it internally for the items I just mentioned. Now, you might say, why is it used for so many different items? And the big thing is that black seed oil, and I'll give you the breakdown in just a moment of the different fats. It's essentially a good, healthy fat. But along with it, it is very high in antioxidants. So you have a healthy fat that has, I'm just trying to use my memory right now, and I'll get you the exact ones in a moment. But it's around 18% or so saturated fat, maybe around 40% or so monounsaturated and around 40% or so polyunsaturated fats. So what you're doing is you're kind of getting this balanced fat. You're getting some saturated, some mono unsaturated, and then some polys. But again, when you get an oil like this, it has to be cold processed. It should be organic. So I want to just make sure that you look for those. You have to understand is that if I'm mentioning disease names like blood pressure, I can't link up this product for you, unfortunately. So it's too bad, it really is, but we follow FDA and FTC regulations, and so we're not able to link up a specific supplement, because then you would think that, this supplement cures these diseases, even though I'm not saying that. Again, we're trying to follow FDA-based rules, but do understand that there's a lot of good organic, cold processed seed oils out there like the black seed that you can look for. The only indicator, not only, but one thing I want you to watch out for is that it can have blood thinning properties. And so you want to be careful with any blood clotting or increased risk of bleeding. But I would also like to share with you that percentage of a black seed product that if you're thinking about using it for your overall health or especially on your skin, I'd love to be able to point you to that one specifically. So let me just grab it for you right now. Again, just like any oil, you're looking for organic, you're looking for first pressed if you can, cold pressed as well. No use of hexane, I believe, is one of the solvents that they use. Okay, so hexane free. And the big ingredient that you're really looking for is the high thymoquinone, and that is one of the high antioxidant-based properties. Typically, this is coming out of Turkey, is one of the main sources for good quality black cumin. I gave you a lot of the benefits, and now I'm going to give you that healthy fat breakdown. So we're looking at about 4 grams of fat per teaspoon, so very small amount, about 40 grams total in calories. You're getting about 0.5 saturated fat, 2.5 polyunsaturated, and 1 gram of monounsaturated. So yeah, pretty close to the breakdown that I gave you before, a little higher in polys that I was talking about before. And the main polyunsaturated fat, when I was doing my research on this specifically, is actually gamma linoleic acid, GLA. And GLA is pretty unique because it can actually help with mood, with balancing of PMS-based symptoms, and many more. So again, if you're looking for a product and it touches on a lot of these topics, when would I most recommend it? Well, the truth is I would most recommend this maybe potentially for some inflammatory PMS-based issues, but really for topical psoriasis, and you can certainly use it internally as well, or hair-based serum to help strengthen the hair as well. All right, wanted to share that with you. If I can present this in a better way and I can provide more detail for you on future shows, feel free to leave a comment. I'm definitely open to comments and I'm open to suggestions. And this is, of course, your podcast. So just let me know. You can let me know on YouTube. We'd love you to like and subscribe right over there at Stephen Cabral. It's at YouTube, and then just my name, Stephen Cabral. And feel free to post on Instagram as well. All right, 2 research studies. I know I'm getting close to my time already today, so I will make these quick. The first one is on disinfectants found in tea. And this was green and black tea. The tea actually didn't seem to matter, but I'm going to read you exactly what was written. So this came out just a couple months ago in the American Chemical Society was the source. It said, surpassed only by water, meaning tap water, tea is the second most consumed beverage worldwide. When boiled tap water is used to brew tea, residual chlorine in the water can react with tea compounds to form disinfection byproducts called DBPs. Now researchers measured 60 DBPs in 3 types of tea, unexpectedly finding lower levels in brewed tea than in tap water. I'll explain why in a moment. However, they also detected many unknown DBPs with uncertain health effects. All right, so I'm going to link up the scientific research for you, but basically what happened was this. If you use tap water, you still have chlorine in it. That's the problem, okay? So when you pour chlorine into your tea or coffee, but we're talking about tea right now, is that you're getting the chlorine, and the chlorine is actually interacting with the natural phenolic and polyphenolic precursors in the tea leaves. And this is creating potentially unknown, unsafe levels of these what are called disinfectant-based products, because chlorine itself is a disinfectant, which means it could be destroying good, healthy bacteria inside of your gut. So this is certainly not ideal. It is a fairly new finding. We always knew chlorine was in tap water. Why is there less chlorine in tea? I mean, I don't understand why the scientists who do this research can't come to this conclusion, but when you boil it, eventually some of the chlorine starts to go away. I mean, that's pretty apparent. That's one of the ways that you get rid of it. But anyway, I digress. Either way, chlorine is left, and the chlorine is actually interacting with the tea leaves. We don't know yet if this might be happening with coffee, but that remains to be seen. So there's a simple fix, though, and that's use a filter that filters out chlorine. So use a good water filter, like a Berkey water filter, or some of the others I recommend at stephencabral.com/resources. You can find a good water filter there, brands that I use myself, that will filter out the chlorine. Then you can drink all the tea that you want. You don't have to worry about it. The times you have to worry about it is, of course, when you go out and purchase your tea at a specific coffee or tea-based cafe, and that's when we have a potential issue. All right, so that is it on tea. Wanted to share that with you. Again, we're just trying to do our best to stay as safe and healthy as we can. This last research article I just found really interesting, and it just came out a couple weeks ago, literally As of my recording, it came out 5 days ago. That's it. So this is the up and up latest research. University of Wisconsin-Madison. And listen to this. Small, unique antibody-like proteins known as VNARs, derived from the immune system of sharks, can prevent the virus that causes COVID-19, its variants, and related coronaviruses from infecting human cells, according to a new study. How unbelievable is that, right? I mean, we certainly need to do more research on this, but we're looking at not even being able to get this particular virus if we were somehow able to use these VNARs, which again derive from the immune system of sharks, to actually prevent this virus from taking hold in the body. So how will this be used in conventional medicine or clinical-based trial? I hope that it goes through clinical-based trials in the future, but right now they're showing in studies, in actual lab studies, that this particular virus cannot affect human cells in the presence of this particular antibody from sharks. So pretty amazing. Again, I'm going to link this up for you, but I just want to share with you that's why, again, you know that I am natural health first and only natural health unless it's an acute life-saving condition. But think about it. You know, there are people with multiple comorbidities that are at real risk for this virus. And if we can help them by using any means necessary, I'm all for that. I really am. Because again, this is the best time then to use conventional medicine when it's an acute life-saving condition. So if we can prevent these types of things using a natural-based antibody protein borrowed from a shark, essentially, that would be pretty fantastic. We just have to be careful on how we deliver that, right? Because we don't want to deliver it in a way that would somehow disable our own immune system, or it would come with some other type of heavy metal, et cetera, inside of that delivery system. So that's what I'm looking out for. And I will look out for you, and I'll look for future studies on how this is actually then beginning to be implemented as a new class of drug. That might be one way, right? For people most at risk, they could use this particular drug, especially the over 75 category. And again, I want to see clinical trials on this, that there's no side effects and that it doesn't disrupt some other part to the immune system. Right now, again, not a lot of good news out there, but I thought I'd share this, and I thought it was some good news that we believe that this virus may stick around in the future. And if it does, well, hopefully we all build up our immunity. And at the same time, that there are treatment plans out there for those most at risk. So hopefully this was helpful. And of course, do feel free to always share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Have an amazing weekend, an amazing start to the new year. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow answering our community's questions on the Cabral House Calls. Take care. One add-on to today's show that I did not mention was that we have free assessment calculators over at StephenCabral.com. So if you'd like to figure out your BMI, your ideal body weight, or even your body fat percentage right online, you can head on over to StephenCabral.com/assessments, or you can just head on over to the website, StephenCabral.com, click on the navigation bar, and you'll be able to find it. This will allow you to understand and discover your own BMI, ideal body weight, body fat percentage, and that will clearly delineate also the reference range for why there is not one specific weight per height for each individual. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Hopefully you got a lot of value from it. That is my goal every single day, is try to share with you something that I've learned over the past 25 years that has helped tens of hundreds of thousands of people all around the world. And what I want to do is also be able to share with you things that I use in my practice that I think you may find useful as well. One of those is vitamin D. And I really like the liquid vitamin D. It's one less capsule to take every single day. And you can actually just measure it by drops, which is really easy. So someone like myself and most people in our practice, they do 4 drops right under the tongue every single day. I do mine with my smoothie in the morning. It makes it really easy. And this vitamin D, one bottle lasts you about 3 months, sometimes even 4 months, so it's pretty convenient and easy to have around. What I'd like to do is share with you a free bottle today. So on all qualifying orders over at Equilife, we'll actually add to your order a free bottle of vitamin D. It's going to be about a 3 or 4 month supply if you're using about 4 drops per day. That's the average adult use. You might use a little bit less. You might use a little bit more, all based on your vitamin D testing. So if you haven't tested your vitamin D, you're also welcome to do that at stevencabral.com/labs. Click on that vitamin D lab. But today, you might as well get yourself a free bottle of vitamin D. It's about a $39 value. You can get it yours free on all qualifying orders by heading on over to stevencabral.com/shop. Take care, everyone.